Hello world, this is Jeffrey, JGB146 Blake, and I'm coming to you today with another weekly roundup. It's not Monday, I'll try to get back to doing these on Monday, but thankfully we haven't missed any events. We're going to start off today just like we normally do, congratulating all of last week's winners, and we're done. No winners because there were no events, so we'll just go ahead and dig right in to the events, starting with Oklahoma as we usually do. And we're done because there are no events scheduled in Oklahoma until after the July 20 pre-releases start. So yeah, we'll talk about some of that stuff next week. The only place I'm going to talk about pre-releases is in Oklahoma. So yeah, we'll cover that next week. Also next would be Arkansas, but they also do not have any events scheduled before the 20th. I will make a small note that they're doing a lot of cup and pre-release combos, and there are like 2 of those scheduled on the 20th. One of them's in Rogers, the other's in, I think, Benton. So plan accordingly if you're going to want to go to stuff in Arkansas. Next, we move on to Kansas. We have 2 things in Kansas, just like we talked about last week. No changes in Kansas, but we're going to retouch on them. So first off, Lawrence, Kansas. This is basically Kansas City. People in Tulsa have started asking me if it's drivable, and I'll say this is drivable, but it's a long way for a single cup. And if you're going to go all that way, you might want to hold off and go to the double cup weekend with Collector's Cash and the Sedalia shop. I don't remember what their name is, but they're both right there, and you can hit them back to back on the same weekend. If you have nothing to do on the 14th, you can go here to Lawrence. Registration starts at 10 at Game Nut gaming store in Lawrence. I've never been. I can't give a review one way or the other, but people named Anthony in my history have done a pretty good job with Pokemon stuff, been on top of any issues they need to correct, so should be good. Check it out if the Kansas City area is kind of your stomping ground. If you're a little bit more towards central Kansas, you might end up going to a different cup though. And this is where I think the Oklahoma people will probably gather to. That's Top Cut Gaming, their July Cup, also July 14th, an hour later starting at 11 a.m. and it's in Wichita. So like I said, closer to the center of the state. And the location is Next Level Gaming Cafe. Sorry, just Next Level Cafe. My bad. It's also hosted by Anthony, but a different Anthony. This is Anthony Miller, and he does a good job. He's informed me that issues that we ran into in the past with their tables have been corrected because he's on top of things. Shout out to Anthony. And yeah, so I'm going to go here. I've already got plans. I'll be there. Maybe I'll see you there. I hope so. Next up, we're moving to a different state, to the state of Missouri. So, what's going on in Missouri? Well, this weekend, July 6th, in O'Fallon, Missouri, you can go to a league challenge. Don't think we talked about this before, but it's coming up this weekend. Registration is at noon, and it's free. So I was thinking that was the one I was recalling, and I was right. It's free, so that might make it appeal a little bit more if you're in the O'Fallon area. I don't know where that is, so I'm going to pull it up on a map and make a comment about it. Yes, Pokemon, you're not responsible. Well, that clears everything up. Maybe we should zoom out. Okay, so, yeah, okay. I remember looking at this once before. O'Fallon's outside of St. Louis, so if you're in the St. Louis area, maybe anywhere on, the eastern border, this might appeal to you. Probably don't want to travel too far for just a challenge, though. Definitely not drivable from Oklahoma, in my opinion. Even if it was a cup, I probably wouldn't be going. But yeah, those of you who are nearby, you have a challenge. First thing going on this year. Good luck. Next, on the following weekend, on Saturday, July 13th, there is a cup in Independence, Missouri. Registration's at 10 a.m. and it's at the Game Cafe in Independence, Missouri. Of course, you can look down in the doobly-doo, find the links for all of these tournaments. I'll pull this one up too. This is a 5, 10, 20 split for buy-in. Give you a reference on where it is. It's also sort of in the Kansas City area, so that could work out, right? We talked about the Sunday Cup in Lawrence, which you can see is right here. So you could do a back-to-back double cup weekend. You could pair Lawrence, Kansas with Independence, Missouri, and you're staying in the Kansas City area. So that could appeal to people. Double cup weekend, Kansas and Kansas City area. Cool. Like I said, though, that's the 13th and 14th if you're going to go to both. And now we'll get to Texas. Texas has a lot of stuff, and the stuff in Texas starts today. Yeah, I noticed this last night. It was actually after midnight last night when this showed up, when I started looking at this stuff. So I freaked out thinking that I'd missed something. But no, it's today. It's not yesterday. So we're good. There's a league challenge today in Cypress, Texas. And it starts at registration at 5. It's a $5 buy-in at Cytex Gaming. And let's look at it on the map. Eventually I'll learn where like all these places are, and I'll just tell you what it's nearby in terms of big cities. So it's kind of like Conroe. We've talked about Conroe. Outside of the Houston area. So probably not something a lot of people are going to travel to. Not really nearby a whole lot of stuff. So yeah, but League Challenge today if you want to go. Next, the Cup this weekend, July 6th at 3 p.m. in Waco, Texas. Animotion Plus is holding their League Cup. And it's only a $10 buy-in, so that's kind of cool. Sorry, $10 entry fee. My poker history is coming back to me. And looking on a map. Whoa, that's a little bit not where we're wanting to see. Kind of halfway between Fort Worth and Austin. So on the other side of Dallas makes it not travelable if you're not in Texas, in my opinion. Because you guys in Texas, you know, it's a big state. Alrighty. Then on Sunday in Copperas Cove, Texas. It says Alabama here. It's not Alabama, it's Texas. There is a league challenge, not a cup. There are also some cups going on, so you'll have to make your decision. There's, I guess, one cup and then lots of challenges. So this is Copperas Cove. Since it's a challenge, I'm not going to look it up on the map right now. We'll see Copperas Cove here in a little. We're going to see it in a little bit anyway. I'll go ahead and look at it. We are looking at a little bit north. Stop zooming so fast. A little bit north of Austin, kind of in the same area as our last event, also sort of nearby Waco. So this might be the league challenge you're going to. If you went to that cup on Sunday or on Saturday, you might go to this league challenge on Sunday. Interestingly enough, it's also a $10 entry fee for, you know, what should be a smaller tournament. So that's kind of crazy. Alrighty. Another league challenge, though, is in Katy, Texas. Talk about Katy, Texas a lot. They do lots of stuff. I assume Steve does a great job. I've never heard anything different, and I hope you guys would be telling me if that wasn't the case. So let's pull it up, look at it, see where it's at for those of you not in the know. See if I can drive it into my brain. It's outside of Houston. So, you know, if you're in San Antonio or Austin, you could decide what you want to go to, or you could say it's not worth traveling that far for a challenge. And you might be right. But you might want instead to travel for a cup. At Grimdark Games, the cup that got canceled right before NAIC has been rescheduled. This is when it's happening. It's still standard. Registration starts at 11 on the 7th. That's the Sunday. We're at Grimdark Games. They're in San Antonio, so Houston area, you're probably going to go there. Austin area, you're probably going to go there. Dallas area, you might, I don't know. It's a little bit more of a hike, but you'll probably go there. Oklahoma, probably not. This is quite a ways. Alrighty. And if you're not going to that cup and you're in the Dallas area, then you're going to want to go to Sci-Fi Factory in Keller, Texas, aka Fort Worth, Texas. I don't know why it changes. Maybe it's like a suburb. Maybe Google will tell me. Let's find out. I know this is Fort Worth. I know it's right by Dallas. I know it's too far to go for a challenge, in my opinion. But if you're in Fort Worth, it's not too far for you. There's Fort Worth. Did we see Keller? Yeah, Keller is... Oh, it's not a city, it's a street. Maybe it's both. I'm guessing suburb of the Dallas-Fort Worth area, basically. Okay, someone in the comments will chime in, make me feel like I'm a little dumb, and tell me what it is. And I'll appreciate it, even if I feel dumb. Then we flash a little bit forward. Wait a second. I'm sorry. I had things wrong. You can't go to this league challenge this weekend if you're not going to the cup. You have to wait until the middle of the week. So this is going to be on the 10th. That's Wednesday. So still in Fort Worth. It makes the 6 p.m. registration time make a little bit more sense. I should have noticed that before. But yeah. Alrighty. Now then, on the 11th, on Thursday, we have another league challenge in Waco, Texas at Nexus Esports. Waco we've already looked at today, so we know it's right there, a little bit north of Austin. Maybe you want to go? It is a standard event, like all of the events. It's a $6 entry fee at Nexus. And I assume they do a good job. Nexus is all over the schedule, all over the calendar, constantly making tournaments. I've never heard anything bad. Never been. Gonna travel to Texas. Someday I'm gonna just go and like hang out with Damien and Team Wishy Washy just for like a couple weekends just to hit all these Texas tournaments. But it's not now. Can't travel this early. Okay, then on the 13th, so that again is not this coming weekend, but the weekend after that. That's Saturday. We do have a cup at the Game Closet in Waco, Texas, just a little ways north of Austin. And registration's at noon. And it's also standard. $5 admission. Wait, this says League Cup. This says League Challenge. I wrote down League Cup. Let me change it, because that's a challenge. I was excited. League Challenge here. League Challenge here. Yeah. They just named it wrong, because they're also doing a League Cup at some point, but not on Saturday. So, never mind. You might not want to go here after all. Location didn't change. I was still in Waco, still just a bit north of Austin. Okay, then on Sunday, we have... Why am I already jumping to Sunday? Next is on the 11th. Game Closet. Okay, we're gonna make... I'm missing a couple tournaments. Have them in my notes, don't have them pulled up here. So let's look at those first. Because we do have a League Cup on Sunday. We've got actually 2 League Cups on Sunday, the 14th in Texas. All right, so the first, not the first. Oh, actually, it is the first. These are both Thursday. Blah, blah, blah. These are both Saturday, not Sunday. Heroes Collectibles in Houston with Steve Lewis. We talked about him earlier, only that I assume he does well. I don't have any knowledge. $10 admission, 90 player limit. So the fact that they note that means that this can get pretty big. You probably already know that if you're listening to this, but I don't know how big Texas Cups get. So yeah, go here on the 13th if you're near the Houston area. Get yourself early cup. If you're closer to Irving, which I'm guessing is closer to Dallas, Fort Worth area, let's find out. Watch me be wrong. I don't know geography. Oh, no, I was right. Nailed it. Okay, so Dallas, Fort Worth area. You can go to Apex TCG, and you can play in their League Cup on Saturday, July 13th. And yeah, standard $15 entry fee, standard format, yada, yada, yada. Then, now we'll get to Sunday. There's a league challenge at Fat Cats and Kittens in San Angelo, so down toward the southern part of the state. Registration at 1:30, and it is a $10 challenge. I'd go to cups over challenges myself. Copperas Cove, Texas. So also down south, we have a cup. This is probably where I'd go. Don't know anything about Underground Games except that they are now appearing on my schedule. So we'll start talking about them. Hopefully they do a great job. Registration for their cup starts at 1 p.m. and it is a $15 entry fee unless you're a small child. Katy, Texas is also doing a League Cup July 14th. Also that Saturday. Registration starting a little bit earlier at noon instead of 1 p.m. Here's Steve again. The fact that Steve's doing it tells me that it's in the, I should know this. I want to say Austin, Houston area. Those are two different areas. I should be able to get this right without looking. Katy has come up a lot, but I've never pulled it up on the map. Texas is so big. Houston area. Okay, I sort of had it right. My second guess. Yeah, so go see Steve for a cup if you want to get there a little earlier. And Houston is closer to you than Copperas Cove. But I think both are somewhat comparable locations in the scope of all of Texas, right? And finally, last thing we're talking about today is another League Cup, also on the 14th, also registration starting at noon. This one being run by Emmanuel Madrena out of Evolution Games in Fort Worth. So Dallas, Fort Worth area, we did not forget about you. You also have a cup coming up in a couple weeks. That's it. That's all the things we have to talk about today. With that, we'll go ahead and wrap up for today. And I will talk to you next week.